Ladies and gentlemen, do you please understand, we are watching the horrific acts of a lifetime. In our entire life, we have never seen or never will see again the horrific acts that are now being committed before our very eyes by the Zionists against the Palestinian people. What's happening in Gaza is a Holocaust. Christians and conservatives who support Israel are supporting a Holocaust. Stop talking about whatever Holocaust you think happened back in the 1930s. What about the Holocaust that's going on right before your eyes? This egregious act of betrayal against the dignity and honor of the holy office of pastor must be opposed by pastors of conscience. If pastors have a conscience, they must speak out. Their conscience would not allow them to not speak out. How could a pastor see if they refuse to look, hear what is happening in Gaza today, and have no conscience to speak out against it? What does that tell you about that man? There's only one of two things. He's either a coward who has a conscience but refuses to act on it, or he is a man without conscience. His conscience is seared. I will go so far as to say that any pastor who can sit back in apathy and indifference and support the brutish acts of ethnic cleansing and genocide against the defenseless men, women, and children and babies being committed by the Zionist state has lost his conscience. Yes. I don't care how nice he is. I don't care how much he smiles. I don't care. I don't care how much he talks about love. If he is able to remain silent and complicit to the genocide that is happening today against those innocent people of the Palestinians, and there's not an unction in his heart, he has a podium, he has a pulpit, he has a microphone, he has a radio audience, he has a television audience, he has a podcast audience. He is an influential person in society. His voice reaches well beyond the doors of his church. And there's not an unction in his soul that commands him to stand up to front of his congregation and the people that are watching and listening and tell them the truth about what is happening. There is something wrong with his conscience. And I will add, if the men and women of his congregation had a conscience, they would remove him from his pastorate post haste. How can you call yourself our pastor and you sit and condone and justify or speak not against what the grossest, most immoral tragedy of our lifetime, and you say nothing in opposition? You're not a pastor. You're a hireling. We want a pastor. Get out of here. We'll find a pastor. Why aren't the people in the pews doing that? Because they don't have a conscience. Ladies and gentlemen, I'm trying to show you that we are living among people today without conscience. Their conscience is seared. We've got to stop looking at them as normal human beings. We've got to stop making excuses for them.
Amen. That's right.
We've got to stop saying, oh, well, he's got these pressures over here and he's got this pressure over here. And, we understand that's not really his temperament. He's kind of a laid-back guy and he just doesn't really talk that way. But he's doing the very best he can and he's a good man. No, I'm sorry. He's not a good man. He has a voice. And collectively, the voices of the evangelical churches of America today could stop the genocide in Gaza tomorrow. I just found out my son, who lives in Florida, sent me a photo, text with a photo on it. Florida Governor Ron DeSantis just released a license plate with a symbol of the Israeli flag on it. Underneath, it says, Florida stands with Israel. And that's now an official license plate in the state of Florida. Ron DeSantis is a pimp for Israel. How dare Governor DeSantis claim to speak for the heart and the conscience of all the people in Florida? How dare that man? But go to evangelical church parking lots in Florida in a few months, and you'll see those license plates everywhere. Now that's bad enough. But to have so-called men of God turn the tithes and offerings of God's people to blood money by using their position of the church pulpit as an instrument of war criminality reveals a lack of conscience in the ultimate extreme. I close with this. As long as evangelical pastors abuse their positions and continue to flaunt their surrender of conscience to the Antichrist state of Israel, I will continue to speak out.